Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Hi, my name is Carol Shabalala, or simply Carol, the First Lady of Sport.
Hi, my name is Victor Mlife, Ukos FM sports presenter.
Hi, my name is Muliki Nteki.
Let's go. This is your radio. This is your station.
Hashtag SMS channel.
Hashtag SMS channel.
Hashtag SMS channel.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Clive, I think during this year, took a decision, to give back as a coach that has, we all know, during his history in South African football. This year he decided to start an academy. And obviously today is the first day where he's in action in terms of, and he wanted to start it with a holiday camp. It's a 3-day camp which starts today. It goes up until Friday. The age group is ages of 7 to 14. So the kids, as you see them outside already. Clive, I think you could just start to take us. Why did you start the academy?
I just think the need for something in Durban with the schools, and of course the indoor facility is what we've aimed for. And we decided to start in this venue. The only thing, of course, the rain came, but now we've been blessed. The rain's gone. Not that we don't need the rain, but just it's good to be here. It's good to see the young players, and all we're looking to do is to develop. And believe me, I've got one player at the moment. I'm not going to mention his name because Palani wants him. I think he's the best player I've seen at that age group in South Africa. He's absolutely fabulous. Plays like a seasoned player. Get back to the wall, back to the goals. Just fantastic all round. Lovely balance.
So with this academy, what are you hoping to achieve?
To find players and to make the kids get off the streets and enjoy it and things like that. Everybody's had a dream that they want to be a professional footballer. Everyone wants to be a Ronaldo or a Dr. Kamala. So I think it's vitally important that we give them the opportunity, and that's why we have started this. This is just the beginning. This is the first camp that we've had, and we'll take it from there.
Do you think, Coach, you are doing enough to unearth young talent?
Never. And unfortunately, I think we were controlling in a degree to the world football when we won in the African Cup of Nations, but from then it's just been all the way down slide, and but pity about that because we could have built from a position of strength and we didn't.
So what do you think the youth coaches has to do better when they're coaching the kids?
Well, very important is to identify with quality players. The first group here today is just a bit of schools in the area, but we're looking to go one step further and obviously coach at a higher level with the kids. We need, expertise and everything all together to make sure that we get better players. But we need players in South Africa to come forward and through. So let's just hope that this camp is the start for big things.
Any plans in terms of relationships with the LA teams?
No, not at reason at the moment, but I would think after 3 or 4 months we'll be able to come to say to you, well, look, this is what's happened since our first meeting, and these are the players, and this is where they're going to be tied alongside, and talk about, of course, Amazulu.
Do you think corporate world are doing enough in terms of sponsoring such initiatives?
It's a joke. We need it so badly, and it should. And the only way to do is to work at it and make the kids progress and let them enjoy themselves and let them play. But there's a lot of good players. There's a lot of good players, and we're going to try and tie them up as to the professional football. It would be nice if the coaches would say to you, we're looking for a central midfield player, we're looking for a goalkeeper, we're looking for this, we're looking for that, and we could help them.
My coach, after your departure from the Bafana Bafana system, we seem to lose everything insofar as our future is concerned. Where do you think we lost out?
When we copied, I warned everybody. I said, if you copy Italians, or if you copy the Germans, you can never beat them. But if you play to the style that we had, and we had this particular style, and we could have nurtured that and presented what we thought was the way to play football in the world. But unfortunately, it never. I think that the influence of, not that he was a friend of mine, of Ted Dimitria, I think it was negative in different ways, and we should have made sure that we went out and coached the right way. And I think the right way was to build on from what we did in 1996.
So you started from the bottom as well, coaching. Well, what was it like to start at the bottom? Do you think Safa is doing enough maybe to give the back coaching courses and all the stuff?
Well, I've sat down with Neil quite a few times in the last couple of months, and he's the director of coaching, and this is hope that the progress that he's put into place he can build on. But he would know the reason that you need to nurture the players and do it at a long time. So I think it's vitally important that the players are given the opportunity, and people like the coaches that will work with them, that can get out there and teach them the right way.
There has been an outcry in terms of graduation of young coaches. Right now, we've just roped in Umure Finseki as the head coach of Bafana Bafana. Happy with such an appointment?
Look, I don't know exactly what he's got, but obviously he's talented, and it's supportive. I think it's very easy to go in there and be negative, so we'll be giving him the opportunity. If he wants some help, I think it's okay. I'd be only too pleased to get involved with him, but that's the decision of the coaches.
So we don't see young coaches, especially in South Africa, coaching in PSL, but now people are always surprised with Rulani. Do you think he's going to succeed coaching?
It's crazy to bring foreign coaches there the whole time, because that's what makes everything change. And I think, when you look at the fate of the Durban clubs in particular, you worry exactly what might happen at the end of the season. And I'm talking about Amazulu, and I'm talking about Golden Arrows and people like that.
Coach, what are you hoping to achieve in the next 5-year cycle for this?
Some good players like we had before, like the Jomos, like the Ace, like the Dr. Kamara, like the Shoes Mashoot. That's what we need. You can't tell me they're not good as anybody else is presented in the world. And we were very lucky and blessed to have them as players, and certainly now as coaches. Maybe not as successful, but I think definitely as players they were fabulous.
Do you think this academy is a solution in terms of sending players overseas? Because
it's certainly going to be a bridge where the players will be a lot closer to the coaches, and they will understand exactly what we're trying to get through to them. This will be very interesting, and as I said, we'll get together in a couple of months' time, and you can say to me, how far down the line are you? And let's see exactly how far we can progress to.
Coach, you still have that connections when we talk about Amazon.
Sure do.
Right now, they seem not to be getting desired results. Are you happy with the status quo?
No, I say to Palani every Monday, how did the team go, and did you go to the game? And they've got to answer lots of questions, Amazulu. It's really, I don't know exactly to put my finger on it. They always say we're a big club, we're a big club, we're a big club. We've won the Coca-Cola Cup, and that's about all at the moment. And big teams win trophies.
Okay, colleagues, I think the Clive Barker Academy would look into 4 elements. I think the first one is the camp, as you see. The other element is to have a relationship with schools, to be coaching in schools, because we're trying to change some of the schools' mindset. We all know that most of these schools like to play soccer in the third term. So, but you find there could be a player that wants to play in the first and second. So we, as the academy, is planning to have that partnership. And then the medium to long term would to also find a partner with a high school to start to give bursaries. So then the academy would be based in a good high school setup where players even from disadvantaged, because if you look at here, you do have kids that came and paid throughout the system. But what we did, because football is not about exclusion, we can't exclude. We did get a few sponsors that said, I will pay for a kid, I will pay. So some kids that are here today, they wouldn't have gotten a chance to come and be coached and get an experience with Clive Barker. But what happened is that a company, like one of them is Pro Sports International, that have come, the Build It brand came. We've also got the Spa up here in Kensington. So these are all brands that said, can we sponsor a kid? Can we sponsor a kid? So hence today, you see kids, some of them from Kwamashu have come here. We brought them here to get this experience, to be with Clive Barker for the next 3 days. And I know part of your question around the private sector. Yes, it's not 100% doing well as we would want to, but obviously it's up to academies, it's up to different clubs to engage and have that partnership. And today what you see here, everything was done on a no budget, but because it was a vision that club had that one day he would like to give back and to give back to the kids. That's why most of the age group you see here, it's 7 to 14, because we want to give back to the kids where this day and age, everybody's focusing on under 17s and under 19s because the players are closer to PSL and to be sold and money. But there's very few that's been done with kids at a very, very lower level. So Clive said that's the age group he wants to focus. Yes, he would have a 17 or 18-year-old in the future, but start with the kids, start with the basics, start with the technique, start with planting that love, for football. Because at this age, it's all about fun, love. That's why we've got boys, we've got girls that have come through for today. So again, it tends to gender. It's not one focus that it's a boys thing. So I think we've got 3 or 4 girls that will be part of today and the next couple of days. But all in all, we've planned for 40. I know today the weather maybe we didn't start well, but throughout we could be around 35 to 40 kids throughout the whole week. Today is the beginning. Tomorrow we'll continue with the coaching, and then on Friday we will be having a mini tournament where all these kids play against one another, and then we do have a prize giving. So this is the first. Besides coaching the kids, Clive will also be doing coach the coach, where he will be doing the teachers, doing the coaches, because another challenge that we found that majority of the younger coaches, or other coaches that coach you under 13s, don't have the skill to coach. I do these tournaments where you hear coaches speak of formation, speak of transition. Now you ask yourself, what does a 10-year-old know about transition? What does a 10-year-old know about a lot of football jargon? So I think that's the element where Clive wants to focus, to say, give the younger coaches or the coaches that are coaching the kids basics, so they can understand what is important for a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old. So that's another element I think will come under the Clive Barker Academy. So I think this is the beginning. I'm sure we will be engaging everyone as we move. I think this is the second step from the book, Clive. Last year, we all remember he published the book. So I think one of the things that was his wish and in his heart is to give back to the kids. So today is the beginning of that process moving forward.
Thanks, guys.
Coaches that have been enlisted, how many?
Well, you can speak of the coaches that we have here.
Is Nico and Reagan Stewart. He played for at the highest level, many Rangers, of course. And so they're good quality players. The nicest thing about it is when if you throw a ball to them and say catch it on the chest, they'll do it correctly. They'll volley the right way. They'll head the ball the correct way. And these are the basics that we want to get through to. It's no good going to the big level and all of a sudden somebody throws you a ball and you can't head the ball properly. So I think it's important that we do it from the start. And that's why we said, come and have a look at us in 3 months' time, and we'd love to have some tea with you and show you exactly the players that have come from nothing to something because of this camp.
Any plans of increasing the number of young coaches who will be under this induction?
Well, we're trying to do something with Neil, try to be about coaching and to get the right formation. So we're going to work very, very closely with him too. and South.
Thank
Thanks,
you very
guys.
much, guys.
You're a star. Thank you. Thank you always.
Okay.